Hello, 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 hi everyone. Hola, hola a todos. Bienvenidos a un nuevo en vivo. Hello, hi everyone. Welcome to a new live stream. How's it going? ¿Cómo están? Espero que estén muy bien. I hope you're doing well. Today we are going to talk about the verb ir. The verb ir. Do you know what it means? Do you know the meaning of ir? This is a very good verb if you want to say a bunch of things in Spanish. So it's really important to know how it works and its uses, the meanings, and everything. Just the whole thing. You need to know about this verb. It's a very basic Spanish verb. Remember that I'm live streaming, so if you have any questions, please use the live chat for that. If you want to do that, if you want to use the live chat, you need to be a subscriber. So subscribing is for free. Just click on the subscribe button and then you will be able to use the live chat. Welcome, Wes Turner. I see you. I see you. How's it going? Hola, ¿cómo estás? Estoy muy bien. ¿Cómo estás tú? Espero que estés excelente. Welcome, welcome. Before we get started, I want to give a big, big shout out to our Cafecito members, Nick Ross, Terry Williams, Jacqueline Hodges, James Mullin, Robert Green, Ralph Marquez, Brianna L., Ruby Brockenberry, Christopher Michael, William Lopez, Gregory Ramirez, Michael Lee, David Beaver. Thank you guys for the support. El cafecito está delicioso. Muchas gracias por todo el apoyo. Thank you so much for the support. If you like what I do, you can also become a Cafecito member. The only thing you gotta do is click on the join button down below to read more about the perks. Of course, I'm gonna give you a shout out every time I live stream. There's also, you will be getting a Spanish word of the day on the community tab. You can find that on the community tab. And I post one new, a new Spanish word every single day from Monday to Friday. So please check it out. There's other perks when getting the membership. So just take a look if you're interested, of course. Okay. Thank you again, Cafecito members. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias. Okay. Ir. Let's see. Let me show you my screen here. Ir. This is actually lesson number 1 or episode 1, whatever you want to call it, because ir has so many uses. So I have to break it down. I need to let you know 5 at a time because otherwise this video, or rather this stream, will last like forever. So I'm just letting you know that this is lesson number 1. Ir, 5 uses. Of course, we're going to learn the main meaning, the basic meaning. And let me tell you, this verb ir is an irregular verb. So you have to pay attention to the conjugation. It's different. It's different because it doesn't follow it doesn't follow rules. It's a very unique verb. And when it comes to conjugation, so for example, I can say yo voy, and that means I'm going. Ir essentially means to go. Okay, so that's the basic meaning of this verb. But the conjugation is so irregular. Yo voy, tú vas, él va, nosotros vamos. So it doesn't sound like I'm saying ir in any way. So you need to pay attention to the conjugation. Okay, excellent. So the first use, the first meaning of the verb ir. Let's see what we have here. The first meaning is, or the first use is ir a. Ir a. So it's important to learn how the verb ir works with other words, and that's why we're including a. Ir a. Okay? Ir a. What does this mean? This means to go to a place. Okay, so you can say, I'm going to the store. You can use ir a in that situation. You can say, I don't know, I'm going to somewhere else. I'm going to work. I'm going home. I'm going on a trip. Okay. So ir a is perfect for those situations when you are going somewhere. Okay. And you need to add the place. Is it a house? Is it a hotel? Is it, I don't know, your job? You're going to work. So you need to know where you're going if you want to use this little phrase, ir a, ir a. For example, I can say, quiero ir a la playa. Quiero ir a la playa. This means I want to go to the beach. Okay, so this is a great example. If you want to let other people know what you want to do or where you want to go, rather. So let's break this down. Let's see how this works. Quiero. Yo quiero. We don't need yo. We need quiero. And that means I want. Yo quiero. You can say yo quiero if you want to. But quiero is a very common way to say I want. Quiero ir a. We have the phrase here, the verb ir, and the preposition a. Okay. Ir a. To go to. I want to go to. Of course, quiero. If you, obviously you need to add more to the sentence. It's very similar to saying I want to, and then you add more. Ir a, go to, okay? La playa. La playa. La means the, playa means beach, okay? Quiero ir a la playa. I want to go to the beach. It's a very simple Spanish sentence, but it's a very basic and common one, and it's really good to know. It's very good to know how to say things like where you want to go. Quiero ir a la playa. For example, if someone asks to you or asks you, where do you want to go? In Spanish, ¿a dónde quieres ir? Then you can say, quiero ir a, and then add the place. In this situation, la playa. But you can change this to, obviously, something else. Quiero ir a mi casa. Okay? I want to go to, essentially, you're saying my house. I want to go to my house. Okay? But it's very similar to saying, I want to go home. Okay? I want to go home. So I want to go home. Okay, very similar to saying that. Quiero ir a mi casa. I want to go home. Okay, you can also say quiero ir a casa. That also means I want to go home. Okay, so I'm just letting you know different things to say, pretty much the same thing, which is important as well to know for sure, to learn. It's important. Okay, now let's learn, or let's look at another example using ir a. Ir a. Okay. The next example is, ¿puedes ir a la tienda a comprar pan? ¿Puedes ir a la tienda a comprar pan? This is a good question. And it means, oops, sorry. It means, that's not the meaning, I apologize. Can you go to the store to buy bread? Okay, sorry about that. Can you go to the store to buy bread? That's the meaning of this question. Okay. Oh boy. Puedes. Tú puedes. We don't need tú. You need puedes. In a question, it means can you. Okay. If it's not in a question, then it means you can. Puedes ir. You can go. But if it's in a question, it means can you. Okay. Can you? Puedes ir a, go to, okay. La tienda. We have the location here. La tienda, the place. We have a place there. The store, okay? The store. The tienda, store. To buy, a comprar, pan, bread. Okay. Puedes ir a la tienda a comprar pan. Can you go to the store to buy bread? So something really important to notice here is the a, another a here. So after you say ir a right here, and you have a place already, right? La tienda. Then if you want the person to do something at the place, then you can say a, and then add a verb. In this situation, you are adding, or we're adding comprar, which means to buy, okay? And then you can add more, right? What do you want the person to buy? In this situation, we have a noun, and the noun is pan, bread, okay? ¿Puedes ir a la tienda a comprar pan? Can you go to the store to buy bread? So this is a very, very, very interesting example if you want to ask someone to go someplace to do something. Okay, so this is great. You noticed probably that I didn't conjugate the verb ir because I didn't have to. You know, we have quiero. Usually when you say quiero, you add a verb. Quiero comer. I want to eat. So you don't conjugate the verb. It stays in the infinitive form. So quiero comer. I want to eat. Quiero correr. I want to run. Quiero leer. I want to read. So it's the same thing here. It applies the same rule here. So we have quiero and then the verb in the infinitive form. And then obviously we need to add a. Okay? Same here. Puedes. This comes from the verb poder. This comes from the verb querer. So you already have a conjugation here. So now you need the next verb in the infinitive form. And that's why I didn't have to conjugate ir. Okay, puedes ir a. Can you go to? Or puedes traer algo. Can you bring something? Puedes correr más rápido. Can you run faster? Okay, so just keep that in mind. That's why I have ir a, just like that. But you can change this to, for example, voy a la playa. Okay? And that means I'm going to the beach. Okay? I'm going to the beach. So I know that I'm not saying yendo, which is the gerund of ir, but that's how it works in Spanish. Remember, you cannot translate from English into Spanish word by word because it doesn't work. So when you want to say voy a, when you want to say I'm going to, you say voy a, okay? Voy a. I'm going to. Okay, and you can change this to anything else. Voy a trabajar. You can also add a verb after that, and that means I'm going to work, right? I'm going to work. Or voy a comer. Comer. Infinitive form, remember that? Did you notice? Voy a comer, I'm going to eat. Okay? I'm going to eat. So it's very flexible. Essentially, ir a means to go to. Remember, sometimes you conjugate ir a, sometimes you don't. So it depends on what you want to say, of course. Of course. Do you guys have any questions? Remember, ir a means to go to. Let me see. Terry Williams. Welcome, Terry. No puedo ir a la tienda porque mi coche es barato y ha roto. That's a great example. Thank you for sharing, Terry. No puedo ir a la tienda. That's great. Porque mi coche, that's also great, es barato. Your car is cheap. I'm a bit confused there, but it's interesting. Y roto, remember, roto means broken, but it's different. When you want to say that your car is not working, that it's, broken, then you have to use a different verb. And the verb is descomponer, descompuesto. That would be what you need, the adjective. I know it comes from the verb descomponer, something that is not working. And descompuesto is something, it's something is broken. Let me just put it here. Descomponer, by the way, as a verb means to break down, to break in general. Okay. So let's remember that. Let me just put here the example. It's a great example. No puedo ir a la tienda. Okay, that's perfect. That is perfect. I'm just moving this out of the way. But before, I have to do this. There you go. Perfect. No puedo ir a la tienda. I can't go to the store. Right? So that's great. Let's just remove this. Just like that. So we have more space. No puedo ir a la tienda porque, right? Because mi coche, my car is, I'm trying to find something similar to cheap, right? That's what you want to say. My car is cheap and broken. Es barato is, let's leave it like that, barato. Y está, you can also say se descompuso. I believe it doesn't have an accent mark. I'll double check. Descompuso. Man, no, it doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't need. I believe it needs an accent mark. I always have issues with long words, long Spanish words. No, doesn't need it. No se need it. Doesn't need it. Okay. Sorry about that. So you're saying here, I'm going to the store because my car, I can't go. I can't. Sorry. I can't go to the store because my car is cheap and broken, or it broke down, right? It's not working. The car is not working. So that's the only change I would do. I would make here. Descompuso instead of roto. Roto is more like when you tear something, like paper, It means also to break. For example, glass. If you break a glass by accident, okay, it means if you're talking about rules, it means to break rules. Romper reglas, to break rules. Also means, when you, if you're talking about, about paper, tear paper. So it's a very, very interesting verb for sure. But if you're talking about machines, unless, if you're talking about machines like cars, computers, electronics in general, you can use the verb descomponer, which means to break as well. Yep. So that's great. That's great. Thank you for sharing, Terry. I can't go to the store because my car is cheap and has broken. Well, it has broken. So irse descompuesto. Technically, you can say that. That's like the translation, more literal translation. Y se ha descompuesto. Y se ha descompuesto. Okay. We're still using descomponer, right? Just different conjugation there. Great example. Thank you for sharing, Terry. Thank you for that. And welcome. Great example. Okay. I have two and has broken. Believe it should have been porque. Believe it should have been porque. Right. It's one word. Yeah. Yeah, one word. Oh, I see you had it as two. Porque. Remember porque really quickly. Porque means why. For example, if you have a question like this, porque means why. Why? And if you want to say because, then you have to have it as one word. Porque that. Because that. So it's just I know it's tricky, but it's just a subtle difference. So yeah. Thanks for that, Terry. Thanks for the example. Okay. Now, let me just put it back the way it was really quickly. Voy a comer, voy a trabajar, voy a la playa. Excellent. I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay. Now, the next use. Let's see the next use of the verb ir. You can use it as well in other ways, as I said before. And this one, it might be a bit more complicated. I'm not sure because I made this lesson a few days ago. But we have ir con. So it's very similar to ir a, but we're changing the word instead of a, con. Ir con. Ir con. What does this mean? Ir con. Ir con means to go with. If you're talking about going with someone to a place, you need to use this. You're going to a place with someone, right? Ir con. You can even say it ir a, place, con, person. So it can be both. You can use both a and con. But in this situation, we're just going to focus on ir con, ir con, ir con. For example, I can say, voy con mis amigos a tomar café. Voy con mis amigos a tomar café. So what does this mean? This means, not that. This means I'm going with my friends to have coffee or just to drink coffee. Okay? So you're explaining someone that you're going with someone to do something. Voy, yo voy. You don't need yo, you need voy. Man, the color of my brush changed. I don't know how. Voy, yo voy. I am going. Remember, technically you're saying I go. Okay, I go. But remember, English and Spanish both are different languages, so we cannot translate word by word. Okay, voy, very similar. It's very similar to saying I'm going. Con, with. Okay, that's what it means, con. Mis means my. Okay, my. And we're adding the letter S to me because we have a plural noun, amigos. Amigos is plural, and that means friends. Mis amigos, my friends. Mi amigo, my friend. So there's a difference there. Very clear difference. We're using a here. To, just like saying ir a. So when you use ir a, then you're adding a place or an action. In this situation, you're drinking coffee, right? To, tomar. Tomar means to take physically something or to drink. It's similar to beber. Tomar, beber, they mean the same thing, to drink. In this situation, in English, you can say to have, right? To have some coffee, or more literal, to drink some coffee. Café, coffee. Okay? Excellent. Voy con mis amigos a tomar café. I'm going with my friends to have some coffee, to drink coffee. Excellent. Excellent. Now, let's look at another example using ir con. Remember, this is the verb right here, ir. I know it doesn't look like ir, but remember, ir has an irregular conjugation, so it looks completely different. Yo voy, tú vas, él fue, nosotros vamos, ustedes fueron. So it's a very regular conjugation. So it's very important to memorize it and practice it. So you learn it completely. You can master this verb ir. Okay. Now let's look at another example. ¿Con quién vas a salir? ¿Con quién vas a salir? We have a question here. Where is ir con in the sentence? Well, let's look at the translation. Who are you going out with? Okay, so we can see con here, con, and vas, that's the verb ir, conjugated. Tú vas, okay? We don't need tú, we need vas. So essentially you are saying going out, going with. When you add a salir, that phrase, that means going out. Voy a salir hoy. I'm going out today. Voy a salir con mis amigos. I'm going out with my friends. So ir a salir, I know it sounds weird, but if you add a salir to ir, obviously ir is conjugated, then you have going out, okay? Going out. This is very interesting. And then we have quién, okay? Quién means who. Quién, who. But are you? We don't have are you, something similar to are you in Spanish here. So essentially you're saying who you going out with. Okay. We don't have you because we don't need it. Remember, in Spanish, we don't use personal pronouns all the time. So we don't need it there. It's not there. But you have, vas a, and we have con. So this is a bit more, complex situation here. But let me try to simplify this for you. When you have con quién means who are you doing something with, Who are you doing something with? So we don't have it here, who, quién, and then we have con, with, okay? So con quién estás? You can say con quién estás? Who are you with? Okay, let me just give you more examples so you understand how con quién works. Con quién estás? If you're, on the phone, talking to someone, your friend, your wife, your boyfriend, and that person tells you or asks you, ¿con quién estás? ¿Con quién estás? ¿Con quién estás? This means who are you with? Okay. When you have con quién vas, that means who are you going with? Okay, so that's the meaning. So if I have something more complicated, as in, this question here. Okay, so we actually, what we did here, let me just erase this. We had it like this, right? We had it like this. Who are you with? Okay, that's the meaning, just like that. But if you add a salir, ¿con quién vas a salir? Remember, a salir means going out. Ir a salir. Vas a salir, going out. Okay, so that's what we have here. And we have now the translation, the complete translation. ¿Con quién vas a salir? Who are you going out with? Okay, so just remember that. Con quién can be used in different ways. You can just add a verb. ¿Con quién caminas? Who are you walking with? You know, I mean, silly example, but you know what I mean. ¿Con quién comes? Who are you eating with? You know, ¿con quién? ¿Con quién? Just like that. ¿Con quién estás? Who are you with? Okay, so just keep that in mind. ¿Con quién is a common thing to say in Spanish. And it's pretty much you're just asking who are you going to do something with. Okay, so in this situation, ¿con quién vas a salir? That means who are you going out with? Okay, I hope that was clear. I hope so. If not, you can share examples. You can ask questions. Remember that you can use the live chat for that. Ir con, remember, means to go with. Okay, to go with. Excellent. Excellent. Any questions? Remember that the best way to learn Spanish, one of the best things to do when learning Spanish is to practice. So, this is a great time to practice what you're learning. Don't be afraid of making mistakes because that's part of the process. And that's how you get to master a language. So, just remember that. Don't be shy. Share your examples or ask questions. Ask questions. Okay, now let's learn the next meaning of ir, the next use of ir. Very important verb for sure. I love this one. I love this one. Ir al grano. Ir al grano. Grano means pimple. Also, it means grain. Okay, so what are we talking about here? Are we talking about pimples? Are we talking about grains or something like that? I don't know. I don't know. Remember, al is actually two words that got together. So, el. Why? Because grano is a masculine noun, and therefore you need the masculine the masculine definite article el grano. But in Spanish, we don't have a el, we have al. Okay, so if you see that, that's what it means, al grano. Ir a plus el grano. What does this mean? What does this mean? This means, let's see. Doesn't mean that. It means, it has actually two meanings. The first one is to go right to the point. Okay. And the second one is to get to the point. Just get to the point. Right to the point. Go right to the point. So you don't, if you were saying this, you don't want, people say anything else other than whatever they want to say. Just say it, right? Just say it. Simplify it. Just say it. Spit it out. That's technically what you're saying here. It's an expression, ir al grano, and it's a good one. It's a good one. If you hear this in Spanish and you don't know the meaning of this, you're gonna be confused. You're gonna be like, what are you talking about? Right? If you're trying to translate the phrase, what are you talking about? Grain? Pimple? What? Go to the pimple? Go to the grain? What? Okay. Now let's see how to use this phrase, this common expression. Voy a ir al grano. Voy a ir. You can also say voy al grano. Let me simplify it for you. Voy a ir is a very common thing to say in Spanish. Voy a ir, I'm going to go. It's like double going. somewhere. But anyways, voy al grano. We have more. We have more. What do we have here? No me gusta mi trabajo. Voy al grano. No me gusta mi trabajo. This means, you probably know what this means. This means I'll get to the point, right to the point, okay? I don't like my job. Maybe you're talking to, I don't know, a coworker, your boss. Maybe you're about to quit. I don't know. But if you don't want to sugarcoat anything and you just want to go right to the point, then you can use this phrase. Voy al grano. Voy, yo voy means I'm going to, but voy a is more like I'm going to. Without a, voy means I'm going. Okay, so we have the expression though. We have voy al grano. We need to conjugate this verb. It's possible that you will have to conjugate this verb. Ir, to go. Voy al grano. I'll get to the point. Technically, the translation would be iré al grano. Iré al grano, because that's more like future tense. But voy al grano is like saying I'm going right to the point, or I'll get to the point. I'm just gonna tell you what's going on, right? I'll get to the point. So it's similar to saying I'll get to the point. Voy al grano. No me gusta. Me gusta. If you hear some, people on YouTube, some YouTubers saying, dale me gusta. Dale me gusta, that means give it a thumbs up when talking about social media or YouTube and whatnot. But me gusta means I like something or I like it. Okay? No me gusta. No me gusta is the opposite. So that means I don't like something. In this situation, mi trabajo, my trabajo. Trabajo means work and job. Okay? So that's something good. That's something good. You don't have to learn two different words. One means both. Trabajo, job. Voy al grano. No me gusta mi trabajo. I'll get to the point. I don't like my job, so I quit. Renuncio. Man, it happens. It happens. For sure. Now, let's look at another example using ir al grano. Let's see what we have here. This is not a good example. Oh boy, what happened to me? Let me give you another one. I don't know what happened. Maybe I didn't save my file well enough. I don't know. A Miguel, why not? A Miguel le gusta, 2 words, ir al grano. Okay? I think that fits just like that. One single line. Okay. A Miguel le gusta ir al grano. That's something good. It's good to, it's good. It could be good and bad to go right to the point when talking about something. I don't know. What do you think? Is it something good or something bad? A Miguel le gusta ir al grano. This literally means Miguel likes to go to the pimple, to the grain. I don't know, why they in Spanish is this phrase is used. Sorry, I don't know why this is used in Spanish, but it's a common thing to say. I don't know the origin of it, but it's a common thing to say. So this means, it's similar to saying, not that you're hot, good looking. That's actually from another lesson, previous lesson. Okay. Miguel likes to get to the point, or to go right to the point, to go right to the point. Okay. Miguel likes to go to go, my goodness, to go right to the point. A Miguel le gusta ir al grano. Okay, al grano. Grano. Excellent. Why do we have a at the beginning? Why aren't we saying Miguel le gusta ir al grano? Do you know? Do you know? A is used a lot in Spanish. When you're talking about someone liking something, you can say a. A, and then the person, le gusta, remember that gustar means to like, and it works, that verb, this verb right here, works with different reflexive pronouns like me, right here, we have it here, te, le, nos, okay, os, if you're using vosotros, so gusta, le gusta a ella, le gusta a Miguel, le gusta a mí, me gusta. Okay, so you can change this to different things. A mí, for example, a mí me gusta la pasta. I like pasta. Okay, so just remember that this little formula right here. So you have a plus subject plus reflexive pronoun plus the verb gustar. Okay, a mí me gusta, a él. You can also use él, a él le gusta, reflexive pronoun, a él le gusta ir al grano. He likes, going right to the point, right? So we can change this to a nosotros, nos, reflexive pronoun, nos gusta ir al grano, and that means we like going right to the point, or to go right to the point, okay? It might be better this. Going right to the point, okay? So that's what it means. And this is the little, formula right here. And you don't need capital N. A nosotros nos gusta ir al grano. A vosotros os gusta ir al grano, right? So that's how you say it, how you use the phrase, the expression ir al grano. Okay, you can conjugate ir if necessary or not, just like here. A Miguel le gusta, because Miguel is he, right? That's why we're using le. Also, if you have Maria, for example, you also need le, okay? So it's good to know these reflexive pronouns for sure. They're very common in Spanish. So you're saying Maria likes. Okay, so there you have it. That's the meaning of ir al grano. Ir al grano. We're not going to the pimple or a pimple or any grain. We're talking about to go right to the point, to get to the point. Okay? Excellent. Do you have any questions? Any questions? Oh man. Good water. El agua está sabrosa. Okay. We have another meaning. We have meaning number 4 or use number 4 of the verb ir, which means to go. Remember that. But sometimes it means something else when you have it, with other words. When you have ir along with other different words, the meaning can change. So it gets tricky, of course. So let's look at another use of the verb ir. Ir bien. Ir bien. Ir bien. Okay, that is the pronunciation of this. Do you know the meaning? Bien means good or well. ¿Cómo estás? Bien. How are you? Well. Okay, or good. Bien, bueno means the same thing, but it's used differently. I actually have a question. I have a lesson about bien and bueno. I believe I do. So feel free to browse my channel to know the differences between the two words and how to use them. Ir bien. Ir bien. This means to go well or to go well with. Okay, so to go well when a situation is going well or when something goes well with something else. For example, when talking about food or other things that you can use to go well with. Okay, usually food. Usually food. Okay, so let's look at some examples using ir bien. I don't know why I keep doing that. Man, I have so many layers here. Okay. ¿Cómo va todo? ¿Todo va bien? So 2 questions. You can ask this to someone, actually. It's a common thing to ask both things. ¿Cómo va todo? ¿Todo va bien? Okay. This means, how's everything? Is everything going well? Is everything going well for you? Essentially, that's what you're asking. ¿Cómo va todo? ¿Cómo means how. Okay. ¿Cómo? ¿Cómo? With an accent mark. Remember that. When you have it in a question or expression, like if you use exclamation marks, you'll need the accent mark. ¿Cómo? How? Va? We're not saying going. This is technically, comes from the verb ir, which means to go, but meanings change. Meanings change constantly, just as in English, really. When you have it like this in a question, ¿cómo va todo? That means how is everything. Todo means everything or all, and va in this situation specifically means is. ¿Cómo va todo? How is everything? So technically you're asking how is everything going? How's it going? Okay. Todo, again, another question. This can be a question and also an answer. You can just say, if someone asks, ¿Cómo va todo? You can say, todo va bien. And that means everything's going well. But if you can also, ask, ¿Todo va bien? And that means, is everything going well or is everything okay? Todo va bien. Todo va bien. And we have the expression that we're learning right now, right here. Va bien. Va comes from the verb ir, and bien, well, bien doesn't change. Bien stays the same. ¿Cómo va todo? How's everything? ¿Todo va bien? Is everything going well? Remember, the V sound in Spanish is very similar to B as in bell in English, you know. So it's okay if you say va bien, you know. Spanish speakers will understand what you're saying, but I'm just letting you know that the sound in Spanish of the letter V is B, or, you know, ba, boy. Okay, vamos. So that's the sound, very similar to B as in bell. Okay. Excellent. Now, the next example is la ensalada va muy bien con la pasta. La ensalada va muy bien con la pasta. Now we're talking about food. This means the salad goes very well with the pasta, or goes so well, you know, with the pasta. Excellent. Now you can use ir bien if you want to say that something goes well with. But just remember, if you're going to do that, you need to add the word con. Va or ir bien con. Okay? Because con means with. Okay? La ensalada means the salad. La ensalada. Va, we added muy. Okay? We added muy because you can say just va bien. Okay? Just, you don't need muy. But if you want to say, you know, very, really, so well, then you need muy. Okay? Muy. So la ensalada va muy bien. The salad goes very well, or so well. Very, very, very well. Con, with, the pasta. Pasta means pasta. Pasta also means paste. And also, if you're talking about, you know, toothpaste, you can also say pasta. Pasta de dientes, of course, that's the long term, but you can just call it pasta. Pásame la pasta. Pass me the toothpaste. Okay? So, ir bien means to go well. Okay? In general, if some situation is going well. And also, if you add con to the phrase, then it means to go well with. Okay? And you can use it when talking about food, of course. Excellent. Do you guys have any questions? Oh, by the way, really quickly, if you want to say the opposite of going well, you can just say ir mal. So the opposite of bien is mal. So that means it's not going well. Okay? It's not going well. For example, here, sorry, I need some water. Oh, man. Okay. So, for example, here, if I say todo va mal, my answer, it's not a question, right? Someone asks, ¿Cómo va todo? And I say, todo va mal. Todo va mal. O mal. You can just say mal in general, but you can say todo va mal. Todo va mal. That means everything is not going well. Or it's not going well. But I'm saying everything because todo means everything. Everything is not going well. Okay. The opposite. The opposite. When talking about food, you can technically do the same thing. La ensalada va mal. But it's not a common thing to say, really. I would say no va bien. No va bien. Okay. This is, I'm just adding no. So it's just the opposite, technically, of going well with. This is not going well with. Okay. So la ensalada no va bien con la pasta. The salad doesn't go well, very well, with the pasta. No va muy bien. We had muy there. So let's leave it the way it was, but opposite. So this is the opposite of going well with. So it's a bit different. Okay, it's a bit different. You can also say here, no va. It's a different order here. No va. Todo no va bien. No va todo bien. Well, technically you can say todo no va bien. No va bien. So that's another thing to say that everything is not going well when you add no. But in this situation, you can also say mal. No todo va mal. Okay, so you have options. Definitely, you have options. When it comes to food, I would just add no. No va bien. Okay, there you go. That was just some little tricks that I wanted to share with you. Any questions? Ir al punto. Is that the same? Ir al punto, ir al grano. Ir al punto. Ir al punto. You could technically, but you're translating the English one. I've heard more ir al grano more than ir al punto. But, you know, I understand that, you know, I understand that even if it's not common, it makes sense. It makes sense. You can say ir al punto as well. Ir al punto. It's a more like literal translation, definitely. You could. But I, personally, I've heard more ir al grano. Ir al grano. But yeah, you have options. You have options. Thank you for asking, Terry. Great question. Great question. The last use of ir, and of course, just the last for today, because there's so many more uses. But today we're just talking about 5. Okay. Use number 5. Irse. 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 This is simple, yet tricky. Just a little bit tricky. Irse. What does this mean? This means to leave or to go. When you leave a place or when you're going somewhere. Okay? So, for example, let me tell you that we have se. This is an indicator of, using when you need to use reflexive pronouns. So sometimes you see verbs that end in se. That's what it means. You need reflexive pronouns. Se, te, me, nos, os. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Okay. So let's see some examples. Let's look at some examples using irse. Okay? Me voy. Nos vemos mañana. Me voy. Nos vemos mañana. Okay, this is a common thing to say when leaving a place, You're saying, I'm leaving. I'll see you tomorrow. Me voy. We're not saying yo estoy yendo. Okay, because that's the literal translation of I'm leaving. But people can understand you. Spanish speakers will understand that, but it's not a common thing to say in Spanish. Me voy is a very common thing to say, and that means I'm leaving. Me voy. Me voy. I'm leaving. Okay? Me voy. Me is the reflexive pronoun, which we have the indication here that we needed. Me voy. Technically, you're saying I'm leaving. Yo me voy. We don't need yo. We need me and voy. Voy, this is the verb ir, okay? Conjugated for the personal pronoun yo. Yo voy. So we have I'm leaving, right? Me voy. Nos vemos. Nos, nosotros, nos. This is another reflexive pronoun. Nos vemos mañana. Mañana means tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow. And when you say nos means, us. In this situation, you're saying this to a group. Nosotros, nos, we will see each other. Okay. Vemos comes from the verb ver. Nosotros vemos, we see. Okay. So we don't have it in future tense. No, we're not saying this in future tense. We're saying this, it's more like present tense, nos vemos. But that's a common thing to say in Spanish, nos vemos. And that means we'll see each other. Eventually, when? Tomorrow, okay? So when you say nos vemos mañana, it's very similar to saying I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Or you can just say nos vemos if you just want to say see you, okay? That's a common thing to say in Spanish. It's tricky. Tricky. Okay. The next example, by the way, what we're learning right now, if you're wondering where it is, it's right here. Irse is right here. But we can place the reflexive pronoun, before the verb ir. And it works. It's a common thing to say. Just like when you say me gusta, I like something. Me voy, I'm leaving, and so on. So we have reflexive pronouns before verbs. That's a common thing to do in Spanish. Okay, now let's look at the last example, and that's going to be the last thing for today. The last example, a lot of info, huh? We're learning a lot of things. No te vayas. Necesito hablar contigo. No te vayas. Necesito hablar contigo. Where is irse here? It's right here. Okay, that's what we're learning right now. We have the reflexive pronoun te, tú te vayas. This is the verb ir, conjugated. So let's look at the translation of this sentence. Don't go. I need to talk to you. Don't go. So we have here at the beginning, the first example. In the first example, we see that me voy means I'm leaving. So irse means to leave. And when you say no te vayas, that means don't go. So we have the second meaning here. Don't go. Don't leave. Technically, that's what you're saying. When you add no before the verb and yeah, this, irse, you're just saying don't. No, and then the action. Very similar. You can say no comas, don't eat. No vayas, don't go. No leas, don't read. No hables, don't talk. So that's a very, very common thing to do in Spanish. So no te vayas means don't go. Now, necesito, yo necesito. We don't need yo, we need necesito. And that means I need. Hablar, when you add more to the sentence, I need to, necesito, dot, 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 I need to hablar, talk. That's a verb. It means to talk, hablar. Contigo. Contigo means with you. That's the literal meaning. But when you say hablar contigo, that means to talk to you. Necesito hablar contigo. I need to talk to you or with you. Okay? So very interesting. When you, let me tell you, this word here, necesito, is great when you want to say I need something. And then if you need something, you can add a verb. Necesito comer. I need to eat. Necesito hablar. I need to speak. I need to talk. Necesito dormir. I need to sleep. Okay, so it's very good. It's a very good word to learn, necesito, because that means I need. Okay, you don't need to say yo necesito. Yo, you don't need yo. You can just say necesito, and it sounds more natural in Spanish if you don't say yo all the time. Okay, excellent. So just remember, irse means to leave or to go. Okay, in this situation, both situations, me voy, I'm leaving, no te vayas, don't go. That's a common phrase to say if you want to stop someone, hey, just don't go. You need to do something else, or I need to talk to you. So just remember, no te vayas. If you want to do this polite, because this is informal, if you want to make it formal, then you need to change it to no se vaya. No se vaya. No se vaya. And it's similar to saying don't go. It means don't go. Or it's similar to saying, hang on, hold on, no se vaya. It's very similar to that. So it's a very great phrase as well. Excellent. Do you guys have any questions about irse? Irse? Man, we learned so many things. Ir a means to go to, okay? Or you can also say ir con, which means to go with. Ir al grano, to go right to the point or to get to the point. Ir mal, or rather bien. Mal is the opposite. Ir bien, to go well with. And we have one more, irse, which means to leave or to go. That's it, guys. That's it for today. I don't see any more questions. Thank you so much for watching this stream. Thank you for, stopping by. Muchas gracias por estar aquí, por participar. Thank you for interacting with me. And that's it. Remember that I live stream every week. Last week I wasn't able to. And the week before, I think I wasn't able to stream for 2 weeks. But I had a lot of things going on, so I wasn't able to. But I'm back, and I'm very, very happy to be back. So Thank you so much for everything. Remember that I have a Spanish community on Discord. So if you want to join that, you can find the link in the video description down below. Please read the rules before joining that server. It's free, of course. And also, I'm part of that community. I created that community. So please read the rules and feel free to join. Also, if you like this lesson, please give it a like. That helps me a lot. And don't forget to subscribe and also click on the bell icon so you can get notified every time I live stream. And if you want to support this channel even more, just check out the Cafecito membership. If you want to know more about it, just click on the join button down below. Yeah. RD, what day/time do you stream? That is a tricky question because I like I'm trying to have a schedule for that, but unfortunately I pretty much stream whenever I can. So the only thing I'm really trying to do, because I'm pretty busy and I'm just making time for this. So what I'm doing is at least stream once a week. That's all I can let you know, because that's what I can do at the moment. But if you don't want to miss out any of my streams, then you need to click on the bell icon that is next to the subscribe button, and you need to turn on all the notifications so YouTube lets you know every time I live stream. I think like half an hour before, and then when I start live streaming. Also, I'm gonna try to let you know on Discord on the server so you guys can know more about it. I can give you the heads up or something like that. But yeah, that's what I can say at the moment. Hopefully in the future I can, have a time and day that I can tell you, I can let you know. But at the moment I don't, because I stream whenever I get a chance. I have to make the time, right? But I appreciate your question. Thank you so much for asking, and I'll keep you posted. I can just let you know during my streams if that changes, and or you can also join the Discord server if you want to keep updated. I'll let you know for sure. Thank you so much for your question, RD. And that's it. Have a lovely rest of the day. Muchas gracias por ver este en vivo. Espero que les haya gustado esta lección. I hope you liked this lesson. Give it a like if you did. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye. Adiós. Hasta la próxima.